I was going to make my first film, if it was going to be authentic to me, then it needed to be an experience that I knew. Sequin was sort of born from that, from the idea in new queer cinema that you sort of play with genre in a way. So often new queer cinema would play with classic American genres like the Western and fuse it with a queer voice. So in this case, I want to take a psychological thriller and a ticking time clock thriller and mesh it with a genre that you wouldn't normally put hand in hand with that, which is a queer coming of age story.
You're home early. How's school? Great chat.
The Anon app was always in the script from day one. We always knew we were going to have this digital component, and for me that comes from a space of I personally get a little annoyed when I see films that are set in the current day that are dealing with teenage or youth characters and there isn't an element of the film that is digital. They're an outlet, they're a way that people meet another queer person. I think it's very easy to brush these off as dangerous, or people can be quick to judge them. But from my own experience, my own coming of age in a digital time, these apps were crucial. These apps are how I found family. These apps are how I found friends. These apps are how I found partners. Of course there is a dark side to this. Of course there is an aspect of it that you could easily draw to elements of our community that are dying. But at the same time, these apps are our way of finding each other. So I think that the good comes with the bad. Finding an actor who looked the age that Sequin is in the script, but obviously wasn't. He needed to be over 18. It was really difficult to find that in Australia. Connor actually was fresh from acting school. His agent actually emailed us out of the blue and said, I really believe in him for this. I really think you should have a look at him. And we did. We flew him to Sydney a couple of days later and offered him the role after a one-day workshop. He was able to bring a confidence and a psychology and a manipulation and a self-awareness to the role that that was definitely on the page, but not quite in the way that he intuitively brought to it. For me, the sequin shirt and the beautiful representation that it delivers on screen was a way of showing both through what Sequin himself goes through as a character, but also through the way in which people see him and the impression he leaves on others.
I'm Virginia. Let's show them how you got that name.
The innocence of being a young man, and when the sequence sort of changed throughout the film, when he stops wearing it, the scenes that he chooses to take it off or doesn't choose to take it off, that's all for me a psychological representation of that deconstruction of innocence that we all go through in our coming of age and in our journey of sexual discovery. We knew that the set of the Blue Room, the scenes in the Blue Room were going to be the heart of the film. If those scenes didn't work, then we don't really have a film. A part of making that so intoxicating for the audience was that they wouldn't see blue again in the film. So blue as a color is stripped out of the scenes surrounding the Blue Room. A part of that was that we couldn't show the sky, so we had to stay indoors. Australia is not the most progressive country in the world. Our film-going population perhaps is, but that brings with it, you know, a whole lot of baggage. Everyone's taste doesn't get a wide release, and that's why a lot of queer films don't get to see the light of day in Australia. So I want to tell stories for our community, but I also want to tell stories about our community to those outside it. And we've been able to do both with this film, and that's been such a privilege and such an honor to be able to do that.